Next, we have a friend of mine. So, years ago, I hosted this open mic in Newark, New Jersey, and we had a mix. It was musicians, a few poets, and comedians, and I had the pleasure of meeting Joe Fernandes, and he's a fantastic comedian, but unfortunately, he's not doing comedy tonight. No, I'm just kidding. He's doing a short story, which I've never witnessed his writing, so I'm very excited. So please, welcome Joe Fernandes!
Thank you. I wrote this like over 10 years ago, never read it, so we'll see what happens. It's called Can You Freebase a Burrito? A True Story. Whenever my friends and I sit and talk about addiction, the conversation is almost never about drugs. It may start with drugs, but it usually finds its way into how messed up we all are without them. I was told when I first got clean that drugs are just a symptom of my problem, that addiction will manifest itself in my life in other ways. I figured that it would be in relationships, friendships, etc., but I never thought addiction would get me in the form of the grilled stuffed burrito from Taco Bell. It was a typical day at work. The clock was moving slow, boss was in a bad mood, and I was hungover from 2 nights of staying up late feeling sorry for myself. That's usually how my addiction first attacks. Get me feeling sorry for myself, and I will surely begin thoughts that will sabotage my life. It keeps me tired and very obedient to negative desires. I decided that a little lunch will do me good, and I head out to the local Taco Bell. I see a sign for the all-new grilled stuffed burrito. A large, warm, soft flour tortilla wrapped around seasoned ground beef, hearty beans, seasoned rice, and a blend of 3 cheeses, cheddar, pepper jack, and mozzarella, creamy pepper jack sauce, and fiesta salsa, then grilled to perfection. You can also upgrade this item with marinated and grilled all-white meat chicken or authentic carne asada steak. I put the actual description to illustrate what sold me. Even writing this makes me salivate. When I held this warm burrito that was grilled to perfection, I knew it was going to be great. When I took the first bite, I had the same thought that I had when I did my first line of cocaine. Where have you been all my life? There are no words to describe how delicious this was, how comforting it made me feel. I no longer felt sorry for myself. The day no longer dragged. I was full, and I felt good. Real good. Too good. For the next 2 weeks, I ate the burrito every day at lunch. I changed it up a little, sometimes with hot sauce, sometimes with chicken or steak. Every combination better than the next. Can I find a way to make this even better? More pure? Can I freebase a burrito? I was hooked. One day my boss asked me what I was doing for lunch, and I told him that I was going to get a burrito. He noticed I've been eating that burrito a lot lately, and I responded the way an addict in true denial does. I'm fine. Another week of daily burrito consumption went by. The only outward sign of this affecting my life was the massive accumulation of hours I was wasting in the bathroom. There was only 2 explanations for this, either the daily doses of burritos or the onslaught of dysentery. Thankfully, I was living alone at the time and had to explain myself to no one. My downward spiral was on, addiction had me in its clutches, and I chose to ignore all negative signs. A few days later, I found myself on the road for a TV shoot and hours away from any hookups for my current drug of choice. I was panicked because I knew this was a national chain. I wasn't panicked, I knew it was a national chain. I asked the guy I was working for if he knew where I could find one. He said that he didn't think there was any in the area. From that moment on, obsession grabbed me and I wouldn't let go. Knowing that there weren't any in the area made my cravings for one all the more strong. I would have compromised myself at that moment just to smell one, or know that one was near. I frantically Googled it. I found one 30 minutes away. Can I drive 30 minutes and make it back in time for our shoot? I had to try. I left without telling anyone. I was in full addict mode on the way to his fix. Any addict will tell you that the act of going to get your stuff is always the best part. The anticipation is exhilarating. You run through all the scenarios of how great it will be once you get it. Will I get chicken, beef, or steak? Hot or mild sauce? Should I not get a drink so I could savor the flavor for hours? I was insane. I was speeding and looking out for police so I didn't get pulled over. I had not 1 second to give if I wanted to get back in time. Then on my left in the distance, I saw the purple sign with the big yellow bell. I even turned down my radio for full concentration. My stomach started moving and growling in anticipation of the greasy goodness that was about to be had. As I approached, I saw a no left turn sign and that the U-turn was a quarter mile up the road. I couldn't risk it, so I pulled a screeching left, cutting off the car, and found myself in the drive-thru window. I ordered my burrito and pulled into the back corner of the parking lot. As I unwrapped, I noticed that it was not grilled. Not grilled? But that's what makes it so great. That was the difference between this one and lesser burritos on the menu. I was furious, but I had no time to argue with them. I looked at myself in the rearview mirror. As I was about to say to myself, "Do you believe this?" I paused. I looked at myself, and for the first time had a moment of clarity. I was ashamed. I figured I would take a few breaths and calm down. I would eat this burrito and then stop for good. As I placed this big, fat, greasy devil in my mouth, I started to cry. I couldn't even bite it. I looked to the left and saw a family staring at me. There I was, a young man with years of recovery from drugs, shamefully weeping in his car with a burrito in his mouth. The woman asked me, "Is everything okay?" With the burrito still in my mouth, I said, "I don't know." She quickly got her family away from me. I shamefully ate the burrito and got back to my shoot in time. When I got home that night, I started to get honest with my sponsor about what I've been up to. We talked about the power of addiction and in all the ways it can affect us. I am proud to say that I went a whole year without the grilled stuffed burrito. My sponsor said it was unnecessary for me to give it up totally. It wasn't the burrito that was the problem. It just came into my life at a vulnerable time, and I was out of control. He knew I was in a better frame of mind now. I decided to go get one and see what happened. Though I wanted one when I got there, I felt like it was an old relationship that hurt me. Even though it wasn't the burrito's fault, I thought it was best to stay away. I decided to look forward with my life, to try something new. I went for the spicy chicken burrito. A warm, soft flour tortilla wrapped around shredded chicken that has been slow simmered in authentic Mexican spices, seasoned rice, creamy jalapeno sauce, and fiesta salsa. It sounded good. Real good. Too good. So I did what any addict with clarity does when confronted with that strong an urge and doesn't know what to do. I got the hell out of there.